That's an awful lot of guys. I hate it when it tells me this, because I always end up getting crushed. So, are you really going to let me just leave? Fortunately, I can't save. Well... Almost triple strength to them, theoretically. Alright, let's do it. I need practice anyway. Choose goal. Looter, poacher, slaver. Potential targets. A beast and 2 mounts. I really don't need minor amounts of loot. So we'll go with poacher. I don't think I have the right mix. I don't have enough horses, probably. Alright, this again. So, how did this work? Love it. We're only at 61%, but we had a very high percent chance. Everybody's healthy. Choose our actions. Charge. Lots of damage, lowered defense. Yeah, I gotta learn to do these too. I don't know what that picture is. That appears to be, those guys are strong. Have at least 20. I mean, it barely changes these numbers. That's what weirds me out about these things. Um... Let's do the companion combat one. I need to see more of that. And then... Doesn't take resourcefulness there. Increases crit chance, lowers standard chance. But the same overall total. Alright, we'll do that. Eliminate leaders and skirmish. It's going to use up all of my resourcefulness. Whoa. That's more than I thought I was going to have to deal with. Youch. Goat kick. Four to 5 damage at 80 accuracy. Holy crap. We're going to get crushed. Love the very high chance of success, then get annihilated. Okay. Well, better place for you. Getting power due to conduit, huh? Krifta is up first. Yep, she's fast. Armor piercing. Suppressing shot. Puts her into Overwatch. Alright, so they put a debuff on her. Harvick next, huh? Not good. Alright, Chain Lightning. I really need you to do something fun. Oh, that accuracy. Hmm.
Ha!
Not enough power. We're gonna get just absolutely massacred. I so hate the estimations and learning these lessons this way. It's so counterintuitive. Spirit Shaman. It's always helpful, I guess. Alright, Harvick, do your bug arm mantis stab thingy. Very much not good. I got 2 people already just about to fall over. I don't know, is that considered a victory or a loss? Well, hi there. That's not a good indicator. Okay, deal with the enemy, deal with the slaves. So, What? It's an either or. I either treat them as enemy or treat them as slaves. Not sure I understand what's going on here. Yeah, I think she died, which I am not cool with. Not dead. Severely wounded. All right. Yeah, that's kind of funny. That happened right before we actually made it in. I think that is the camp that there's like a quest for, and I've been avoiding going out and dealing with it. I think I just stepped into it on accident. Okay, so crew change. We've got medical supplies auto toggled. Max guards 150. Bats are okay. Not sending anybody out. Indarath got a little bit back and is now only wounded instead of severely. And get us into Arcane. Alright. So, we had no quest to turn in. Not doing escort missions. Not doing defend or... Yeah, we're not going to Devon, so we got no faction missions to deal with. We're actually positive on the number of people in our band. Did we gain a... Didn't I sell one? I forget now. We're at 29. Get back out of the slave trade. And we picked up some odds, mods, and ends. Oh, these are... No, we're not transporting trade goods other than what we bought. Hmm. Mushroom beer in Devon. Ah, that's what I was worried about. Hmm. I didn't check my inventory before I came in. Alright, I'm kind of confused. So why is Ceruleus Crystal... Because they have none currently and they're paying 30 is why. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a problem. That's a big problem. We still make a tiny profit if I sold some more, but that's what I was worried about with this crystal. You can have the bogweed. You can have the obsidian blades. Alright, clean that up. So, going back to Torzag, we want marble. Yeah, we got too much. Too much. Marble to Torzags. So we're buying at 4, selling at 7. So definitely do want that. Okay, we still got medical supplies. I don't think there's anything else to modify. No rumors, no passengers, no faction offers. So it's just straight back to Torzags. Oh yeah, this thing. Look for the monster. Oh, maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Haramon the Herder grants substantial reward to anyone brave enough to go after the vile beast haunting the outskirts of our fair city. No. Perks granted. +1 regeneration. But it's expensive. +2 power. And +1 fearless. Might require a mage. But I don't have an option to buy it. Alright. Let's go ahead and get a save. All right. I think we're ready to get out of here. 4 out of 9, huh? I don't have any time pressure currently. Let's go ahead and rest up. We're in good status. Oh yeah, I need to get people healed. 12, 10, 3, and 3. I'm still hurt for 2 days. Ah, so expensive. Alright, we gotta get out of here. Oops. So, we are heading back to Torzags. That's a perfect number right there. Cool. Max guards, not sending anybody. Yeah, we'll stay at 150. We're heading back to the place where there's lots of food. Let's go ahead and go a full move this time. Got to use my my vigor, or I forgot what that's called, awareness or whatever. All right, we're back. I don't think I have any bad stuff. All right, we're back. Screwed that run up, but we're alive. All right. So, hey there, Crystal. You don't have a lot. Ah, price dropped a little bit already. That's not good. All right. They absorbed most of it. We got a tiny profit on that last one. Supplies are down. Marble is in demand. Alright, that was well worth it. That helped out a ton. Check faction offers in a minute, so we're good there. This time, before I forget, 10. Not stack size. Alright, I have the 10 for my quest. We need 4 tin and the dragon bone. God, I don't want to go back there again. So going to need more supplies. Whoa. I lost 5 scouts. Ah. We keep the excess. Should have left that worker out. Alright, we're okay there. We've got 20. We need 18 to keep everything fully defended. Buy some rumors. Shadow Bazaar of Devon has a nice jewelry shop serving rarities and curios. Not going to any of those, so no passengers. Rumors and news is done. Alright, we're going straight to Lumen this time. Uh-oh. Last time we had a whole bunch of supply runs for Lumen. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so 4 is going to be 8 cargo. I can take 3 out of the 4 without changing anything up. I think that's what we'll do. That'll leave me 1 space available. Oh, Carpenter's Guild. No. Lumen. Rather do Surgerod. Oh, leaves us 2 slots. One of those was a single slot. I guess we can take that last one then. Also a single slot. All right. Still can't claim anything. Don't need healing items. Look for the horned lizard tattoo. All right, sure. Wait. Still pretty wounded. Everybody else is full? Wow, that dude healed fast. She's at 6 and he's full? Must be nice. I'm gonna wait on pursuing her entry. I'll try to remember to do that next time we come back. I don't want to do it while she's at half health. Alright, so I don't think we're going to do anything in the city. It's just going to be a speed run up to Lumen. And probably back to Arcane and back to Torzag again to do that route again. But we'll try to get it in and out of Lumen as quick as possible. I'm debating filling that slot. I'm going to go off-road this time because we're not going to go to the quarry. Yeah, let's not fill it. I do need to rest though. Oof, 5, 7, 9. Don't need morale. I do need nutrition. We can feed up on the way. Vigor's already 9. Only thing I need is obedience and nutrition, and I'm not going to get that here. Keep forgetting to hire out my guys while I'm resting in town. Alright, off we go. Yeah, that way. Convert. Get me a wee bit closer. Okay. Time to chat with folks again. I haven't done her. I don't think we've really done anything that's going to warrant any chat changes. Where are we at for build 10 insight? Yeah, I got to get exploring new locations. Getting missions done for my NPCs. Not bad. How hard's the game to get into? That's one of those subjective questions. There are definitely things you need to know, and there is kind of a tutorial scenario that I skipped. I don't remember. I think I looked at it very briefly when I first got the game years ago, but I don't remember the experience any, so I don't know how good it is at actually teaching you the basics of how to play. I did a fair bit of reading and researching before diving in just to understand some of the main basics, and then refined my knowledge by figuring out what I couldn't figure out in game. There's a few things that are aspects that are pretty weird and hard to just grok just by having them experience or happen to you. Any kind of combat is kind of hard to figure out the interface for. It's pretty weird. Maintain. Critical success, few extras. We're still maintaining nutrition 8. 5 days of food, huh? We still got a ways to go. Let's go ahead and use that ability again. Yeah, we'll just do the 9-point move. So what I'm doing with all of this is I'm trying to balance these 4 values here. These 4 values are listed here: fervent, subservient, nourished, and invigorated, and each has various effects. You want to keep vigor high because that gets you bonus movement and combat stuff. You want to keep nutrition high for vigor, morale, and obedience. But you keep nutrition high by feeding your guys lots of food, but I've only got a limited amount of food available. There's a lot of balancing going on in how you approach travel. There's different ways to kind of do it. But by paying on time and giving good rations and not doing forced marches very often, usually you can kind of maintain these so you don't get into big negatives. But you get into a fight and you lose some guys, and then all of a sudden your workers are overburdened, which causes kind of a cascade situation. It can get kind of weird, pretty ugly, pretty quick. Save them for the next. Ooh. All right, yeah, go ahead and lock those. Whoa. How do I get off the locked state? Weird. I'm running with 0 slaves currently. I have chosen to not engage with that system on this run. Every once in a while, I acquire a few, or I have to grab some, and there's reasons. There's a difference between slaves and workers, and how they work and where they're used in the world and bought and sold and so on. It's a big part of the gameplay, but I am choosing to just do a pure merchant run with this first run through the game, and not dipping much into the slave trade. Pay now, 150, scout, max defense. Well, I got a little bit of food out that time. Now we're down to, back up to 5. Alright, so I'm stopping to scavenge and forage and hunt on the way to extend my food supplies, as opposed to max moving to get there faster. And I'm doing that because I have a huge retinue of scouts that can go out and do all that hunting to try to keep us fed on the route. So that means I don't have to carry as much food, which leaves me more room for trade materials. But this place has got really expensive food once we get there, and not a huge amount of it. So there's a lot of factors involved, and knowledge of the game world and what you're going to expect at your next stop is really important. As we found out when we went south of Torzags to Kernak, because we ended up using our food to get there, and then there was no food at the place we went to, and we had to disband and sell off a big part of our retinue, and then almost starved on the way back to get to Torzags. So move slow and scavenge, or max move and just get there. We can get there next turn if I max move. That's not going to leave us a lot of food to get out again, but let's do it. Now, I could choose to send them out to scavenge anyway, but if I don't save 2 points to allow them enough movement points remaining, or time in the day essentially, then instead of the move cost, I have to pay a vigor cost. So it lowers my vigor number here, which can have consequences. So I would like to keep my vigor high, so we're going to say don't go scavenging, so we can keep that number. I could back down on the food. That's going to drop my nutrition and my obedience, so we'll try not to do that either. $10 to get there, huh? Do we force march that last point? No, we don't. Oh, they're not going to let me do this yet. What, one more day? One more day before I can use that. That's a day late. I'm going to force march my way in, which has negative effects. All right, we are there. Here we go. This is our quest. 4 tin and a dragon bone. Hand over what you've brought. Whoa, nice. We're going to get paid. Copper and Pulvis Phantasma. Spectral residue. Tends to accumulate around where incorporeal undead dwell or perish. Alright. So, another quest. Shit. I just think I just sold items. Oh, thank God. All right, I did not get rid of items for the factions. I hate it when I do that. Okay, available? Anything outgoing? Torzag, procure goods. It's a level 1 even. Back to Torzag. We should get there in plenty of time to do it. That's it. All right. Take that one. Of course, it's crystal. Back to here. No rumors. No passengers going where we want to go. I'll exchange local news. I will need to rest. Not. This is the rough part. Good old supplies. Triple price. It costs 1 per supply in Torzags. It's 3 per here. God, that's expensive. I've only got 3 days. We're going back to Arcane again. We're doing the exact same loop we did last time. We couldn't sell many crystals in Arcane before the price dropped substantially. I'd rather haul lots of marble from Arcane down to Torzags with whatever I have available. So I'm not going to buy any crystal here. I think I do need a little more. We only got 3 supplies for our current retinue. So the number of people and beasts we have require X number of supplies per day. And that many is only going to give me 3 days. So let's at least top that one off. That gets us to 4. We've been having fairly good luck with our foraging and hunting. No, supplies are supplies. They don't differentiate. It's just one thing that is the food item. Am I going to make it on 4? The problem is, I believe this presumes 100% supply or feeding, not 150. So I think that estimation is based on just normal supply burn rate. But I've been running at 150% to keep my stats high while we travel, so it's actually less than that. I think I got to take the hit on at least one more stack. Yeah. We're still holding on to the contraband dragonsteel scraps. It's super valuable, but I don't know where to use it yet. So I got to keep it hidden in my little contraband compartment. I would love to swap that out for the extra storage compartment or upgrade instead. But right now, we got to do the hidden compartments for the +2 stash. Alright, so this kind of sucks because I've only got the one faction offer outbound. And the crystal is the only thing worth anything on the way out, but I think I'll make more for the space. So crystal purchased here in Lumen at 22 and sold for 30 in Arcane, but that's from 3 to that's when we were last passed through Arcane, and we dropped the price ourselves. And I don't think this is reflecting that price drop. So I don't know that the price would have recovered enough to make this worthwhile. I hate traveling empty. Don't have anything else. I guess we'll travel empty. Depending on what kind of luck we're having with foraging, maybe we will... See, I could even make money selling supplies at double price. If I thought I was comfortable salvaging or forging my way back to Arcane, the play would have been to sell some of the supplies, actually, and make a profit. I bought them at 1. I could sell them at 2. I could double my money. All right, well, not going to worry about that. We got to rest. This time I'll remember to hire my guys out. Make a little bit of money back. At the cost. Maybe not. Only thing we're down is obedience. We're not going to get obedience on this list no matter what. I'm not sure it matters since we don't have slaves. Yeah, not going to worry about that. 999 is perfect. So we could just do that one. Yeah, let's take the cheap option. All right. Oh, only 7. Well, that's not good. What the hell? High vigor. Oh, workforce is short. How do we manage that? What changed that I am now below my workforce need? That's weird. That gets us back to 9. Let's get a little bit of cushion. Didn't add a necessity. Put us up to needing 19 to fully defend. We've got 20. All right, we'll leave it like that. We're out of here. All right, so we still got that indicator from our previous scouting. I'm going to follow a slightly different course, I think. We'll come kind of down and then over this. So take me there. Well, you are very much encouraged because the experience in the game is this: insight. You gain insight primarily through exploration, finding new locations you've never visited before, new people, objects, storylines, etc. will reward you with insight. That's the #1 way that I'm aware of that you can raise your XP level. And this is used to purchase authority, which is how many of your companions can be put to work in caravan jobs as deputies. So I'm limited to 3. I've got a 4th guy, but I can't use him yet because I don't have enough insight to purchase the next upgrade, so I could use 4. It also can increase resourcefulness, which is the little purple thing that has various uses in-game and is a limited resource. But then you also have to fully level up all of your companions. So your companions have a huge stat sheet with their perks and their base stats, their resistances. They have 4 different abilities in combat they can do that have different attributes, and they also have to be leveled up. So you have to use your insight points, the same points you use to improve your own character. You have to use those same pool of points to improve your companions. You come in here and you click on a box here in the middle for a prowess, and that first box here, or the second box here I'm pointing at the very bottom, says costs 4 insight and grants 12 proficiency. So if I click on this, I'm going to lose 4 of my 10 insight. I'm going to gain 12 proficiency for this character to spend on all of these abilities. So there's a lot of stuff in here. So like if I wanted, she's my magic user, if I wanted her magic sense to go up to the 3rd level, it costs 3 of the 12 proficiency this one upgrade would get me to get her that magic sense #3, which increases her scouting base chance, which would help us during our foraging and hunting runs. So each character is different in what they're going to have. So if we look at Harvick here, he's level 2. He's the only one I've actually bought anything for. He's got completely different professional traits and attributes and what kind of deputy he can be if he meets certain requirements and so on. So it's a lot of stuff. But yeah, insight is mostly from, going to new places, meeting new people, stabbing them in the face with baby knife, and also doing quest lines for your NPCs. Each of them has their own personal quest line that you can pursue, and I know you get insight when you get that done as well. But I'm still very new to the game myself, so I've got a rough understanding of just where you can mostly get that stuff. We've currently just been hanging around almost entirely in this central region here. You start the game down here in Kernak. They send you north to Torzags. Torzags is kind of the main hub. Then there's another major city up here, Devon. We've been to Devon once and then back again. And that's about it. Other than that, it's just been doing this loop right here from Torzags to Lumen to Arkan to Torzags. So my plan, now that we got the quest done, is Arkan, Torzag, and then we're going to go up the road here to the Mines of Plenty, and then up to Salem, depending on what happens here. So we're going to be exploring new places and unlocking things and learning lore and world building and seeing what happens. But one thing to be cautious of is when you see the world map, make sure that you understand that you do not have the full map to play in. It's shown for reference and informational and historical and world building purposes, so they can tell stories about things that have happened over here in Sargot and in the Wide Run, whatever that is. But your actual play area is a square right about like so. And that's the limitation of the game world. With DLC, it opens up the Bronze Desert. But other than that, your play area is right here in this middle section. And it doesn't actually... Yeah, it includes Devon, so... Right about there is the play area. Although it doesn't go across... I don't think it goes across the river here. I think we'll be at the very western border, right? Or eastern border right here. But this is the play area, essentially. But there's a massive amount of stuff in here. I mean, you'll get hundreds of hours of play out of just this play area, not even including many of the expansions. And there's another expansion coming out relatively soon they're working on. And the map gets more detailed as you zoom in. So, I mean, at the high-level zoom, you just get the major features. But as I zoom in, like if you look right here, you'll notice a bunch of stuff start popping in. So... You get more and more detail, and that's the max zoom down level right there. But there's all sorts of stuff in this. I mean, there's a special event thing in here, in Orcscar. Tarathian's Fall probably has something. We've only barely... I forget, did we get to go to Ventulium this run? I tried going there, and then I wasn't able to. I got diverted off of it. I don't remember if we actually made it there. But, yeah, tons and tons of stuff in here. All over the place. Okay, so plotting the path. Yeah, that's fine, right there. That'll give us enough to do some more salvaging, or scavenging. Yeah, just do the acquire supplies. So when we're looking at this screen, what I'm looking at is this is the success chance, this is the fail chance. All I really care about, I want to get 50 plus here, and I want this to be as low as possible. This is the crit fail. And you can have your scouts do it, and we've got a good pile of scouts, and I've also got Krifta here is kind of my scoutmaster. She has a bunch of bonuses for foraging and hunting, so she's applying that to the group. And then you can also have your workers go out and pick berries and find roots and mushrooms and so on. They have much less chance of finding anything, so they're only going to get up to about 155 max if they happen to get a really good roll. But the crit fail chance isn't too high, and this guy can get up to, or the scouts can get up to 1,000, which is really good. So we got 67, which is really high, and 61, so we got really good chances here. And it's costing me 2 movement points, which is what I'm saving as I move slowly. So we got an 81, which gave us a crit success. We got almost 700 supplies and a couple extras. And even the workers brought back 59. And nobody got hurt. So that's largely due to things like her being our Venatoris. Plus 10 hunting chance, plus 5 foraging, etc. Plus we've got cargo items in here in these various slots that are improving our chances in various ways. And just all sorts of stuff is kind of factored in all over the place. Okay, so nice. We're up to 8 days. And we've still got slots available, so I'm just going to keep on scavenging. I think I bet selling food at Arcane is only going to be cost 1, so it's not going to be as lucrative. I don't think it'll be cost 2. I think it's probably 2 to buy, 1 to sell there. As opposed to Lumen being 3 and 1. Or 3 and 2, I mean. Alright, time for sleepy time. So we've already done that. Max guards. Everybody, is everybody healed up now? Nope, she's still wounded. She's at 9 out of 11. She should be healed up the next day or two. Alright. So we're on 150% supplies. That's keeping our people happy. If we go to 100, we actually lose every round compliance and nutrition. So we're going to maintain that. Oh, we can go all the way up to well-nourished if we go to 200%, huh? I'm okay with just maintaining that. As long as we keep invigorated high, we get the extra movement bonuses and such. Okay, so this node map, it's showing the cost to move to the next node, so 3 movement points. So this part sucks, because if I go to there, it uses all 9. So I have nothing left over to forage with. But they're all 3s in every direction. So I'd have to either stop at 6 or just keep pushing. We're so well fed, and I don't think we'll be able to sell any much extra. I'm just going to push. Although I'm gonna divert down this way and come across this section of nodes. We don't travel the exact same path. I think you can search out a node, and if you've been there recently and I try to forage, it will have none or a smaller chance. Plus, there's random events. We could hit a random event while we travel, get attacked by desert bug mutants or a roving band of slavers or all sorts of stuff. Okay, I'm keeping everything the same. We're not going to salvage or scavenge. No healing message. And she's still at 9 out of 11. Finish healing. Oh, good old 8 out of 9. I hate 8 out of 9. I keep forgetting to use my points here. Reallocate 4 resourcefulness. Yes, give me extra movement points. That gets me to 12. We could get all the way to there and maybe force march into Arkan next turn.